Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be talking about scapegoating. So if you're new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you to everybody who's been liking and subscribing to my channel over the last few weeks. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much. Hello, my name's Elizabeth Goddard from Revive Your Soul, and today's video I'm going to be talking about scapegoating. So scapegoating is the singling out of a certain person, one person, to take the blame for the wrongdoings of others. The term comes from the Bible, or is first referenced in the Bible, where two kid goats, one was sacrificed and the other one took the sins and impurities with it and was released into the wilderness. Scapegoating can be found everywhere. It can be in families, in the workplace. You might even find that one school teacher favours one student over another. Scapegoating involves punishment rather than rewards. When we think about family units, we tend to think of them as caring and supportive. This isn't always the case. This brings me to the scapegoated child. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using the narcissistic mother. There are two types of scapegoats. There's the temporary and there's the permanent. For the emotionally abusive and toxic mother, she needs someone to blame. She needs a perfect family. And so where a reasonably well-adjusted person might be able to take responsibility for something that happens, something that goes wrong, they might be able to see the steps that lead up to an event. The emotionally abusive mother can't do that. She needs someone to blame and shame. So in the unit where there's a temporary scapegoat, the mother uses all her children and takes in turns or rotates that label. The children in that family will try their hardest and work their hardest not to be blamed in a situation, and it creates competition within that family unit. In her eyes, she's someone of authority, and she doesn't see this as controlling behaviour. When the scapegoat has a more permanent role, it actually causes more damage. The scapegoated child is held responsible for everything. And by allocating this role, the emotionally abusive mother is able to put all her focus on one child. They take the blame for everything. It's always their fault. They should have known better. They always do this and ruin it for everybody. She creates stories for the scapegoat early on, and she actively encourages other members of the family to join in. Her siblings might not even realise this is what they're doing, because children are sponges and they take on the behaviours of adults between the ages, or from between birth and the ages of 7 to 8. They're learning, mimicking and believing that everything they're told is the truth. The permanent scapegoat is used as a screen. It hides the emotionally abusive mother's behaviour and the dysfunction within a family. Children of an emotionally abusive mother learn early on how to predict her moods and end up walking on eggshells. But believe it or not, it's not just the scapegoat that is affected by the dynamics in this family. So the scapegoated daughter might see the patterns early on in her childhood. She might see that she's been singled out. She might see that her behaviour is treated differently to her siblings. She might build up a resilience, find ways of coping, and use avoidance tactics. She may actively look outside the family unit for positive feedback, possibly looking in all the wrong places for attention. Or she might believe that love is conditional. She might believe every word that her mother and siblings have told her, and she certainly took the blame for her siblings' behaviour. And now as an adult, she defaults to taking the blame for everybody else. She develops a thick skin and puts on an armour to protect herself. She will have recognised she was treated differently, and she felt it was unfair. And if she's lucky, one day she might understand why. The scapegoated daughter was robbed of her childhood. She might go on to become a high achiever or very competitive, while other scapegoated daughters might take on every negative belief that they were told and they set no goals and they can't achieve anything. She will have experienced psychological and emotional wounds growing up. However, the silver lining to this is the permanent scapegoated daughter is probably the only person in the family that saw these toxic patterns. And because of this, she's more likely to seek help and to heal those wounds. And her siblings who bought into this family story continue to be codependent and walking on eggshells, continuing to keep their mother's secrets and make her happy at any cost. Children of mothers who are high up on the narcissistic scale continue to pussyfoot around her, and they're unaware of why they behave this way. And even though the emotionally abusive mother has her scapegoat, it doesn't stop her playing games with the other siblings. The narcissistic mother sees her children as an extension of herself. She manipulates each child, changing their roles to suit her needs. She will have a golden child whose sole purpose is to provide supply for her. She's able to boast about their achievements, what they've been up to, the amazing things they do. And the golden child continues this role into adulthood, completely unaware of the effect that their mother has had on them. They won't have seen the patterns and they are unlikely to see the person behind the mask. The emotionally abusive mother will have laid the groundwork, the stepping stones for the scapegoat right at the beginning of her life. The scapegoat was always the problem. She caused drama. And the mother creates stories about her daughter. She's the reason we can't have. And the scapegoat grows up to be the black sheep of the family. The mother created a fantasy world. Growing up, she was always a problem. She never fitted in. She was never one of us. And she allows everyone within the family unit, in fact, she encourages them to take part. So when the scapegoat challenges the dynamics within the family, everybody turns on her. Her abusive mother spent years making sure she would be attacked. She would be judged. She would be challenged. And the mother was building a wall of protection around herself and her life. It's likely a smear campaign is used to discredit her. The ageing, emotionally abusive or narcissistic mother continues her games throughout her life. She continues to control her children, turning to them for protection, and they duly comply. The scapegoat or the black sheep of the family sometimes has no choice but to go no contact. But because of who she is, and she's more than likely going to look for help to heal with the wounding, she can change those relationships and she can actually bloom. As I said, this isn't all doom and gloom. If you're the scapegoat or the black sheep of the family, you are more aware about personal healing and seeing those patterns and doing something about it. You can move on to having more healthy relationships. I work with clients one-to-one, so if you'd like to find out more information, you can visit my website, reviveyoursoul.co.uk, or you can drop me an email, info@reviveyoursoul.co.uk. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Sending you loads and loads of love.